Detective Ryan Matthews stood before the courtroom with an air of pride. Clad in his uniform, chest gleaming with medals and badges, he held up a thick folder and declared, "This is the official police report on the incident involving Mr. Elijah Turner." Every detail was documented carefully and accurately. The murmurs in the courtroom quieted as Matthews began to summarize the events of a traffic stop that had quickly escalated into a confrontation. He painted a picture of a man resisting arrest, acting suspiciously, and forcing officers to respond with measured force. Elijah Turner, a 29-year-old black man and community organizer, sat calmly at the defense table. He had been wrongfully charged with resisting arrest and assault on a police officer. But Elijah was no ordinary defendant. A graduate of Yale Law School and a seasoned civil rights attorney, he had spent months preparing for this exact moment. When Matthews finished his self-congratulatory recounting, Elijah rose. "Your Honor, may I address the court regarding the report Detective Matthews proudly presented?" Elijah's voice was steady but firm. Judge Karen Simmons nodded. "Proceed," Elijah began. "While Detective Matthews asserts that his report is thorough and accurate, a detailed review reveals at least 12 significant legal violations and procedural errors." The courtroom sat in stunned silence. No one expected this level of detailed rebuttal from the defendant. Elijah pulled out a neatly organized binder, each tab labeled and color-coded. "First," he said, "the stop was conducted without reasonable suspicion, violating the Fourth Amendment." He then systematically laid out his points. Unlawful stop. The officer lacked reasonable suspicion to initiate the traffic stop. Failure to identify reason for stop. The report omits any clear explanation for the stop. Improper search. The search of the vehicle was conducted without consent or warrant. Excessive use of force. The physical restraint used was disproportionate to the situation. Failure to read Miranda rights. Elijah was not informed of his rights before questioning. Fabrication of resistance. The claim that Elijah resisted arrest is contradicted by witness statements. Inadequate medical attention. Injuries sustained during arrest were not properly documented or treated. Failure to record the incident. The patrol car's body camera was turned off during the critical moments. Ignoring witness testimonies. Eyewitnesses corroborated Elijah's peaceful behavior, which the report dismisses. Bias in reporting. Language used in the report reflects racial bias rather than objective facts. Improper detention duration. Elijah was held beyond legally permissible limits without charges. Violation of departmental policies. Several standard operating procedures were ignored. Each point was accompanied by legal citations, witness affidavits, and relevant statutes. Detective Matthews shifted uneasily in his seat as Elijah methodically dismantled the narrative presented earlier. Judge Simmons leaned forward, clearly engaged. "Detective Matthews, do you have any response to these allegations?" she asked. Matthews hesitated, then muttered, "No, Your Honor." Elijah concluded, "Your Honor, this case is not about guilt or innocence in the conventional sense. It is about accountability, transparency, and the rule of law. When law enforcement officials violate constitutional protections, it undermines the very foundation of justice." The judge nodded gravely. "I find the evidence presented here compelling. This court will order a full internal affairs investigation and review all procedures related to this incident." As the hearing ended, the courtroom buzzed with whispers of admiration for Elijah's calm, yet unyielding presentation. Outside, reporters crowded around him, eager for his comments. "It's not about fighting individuals," Elijah said, "but about ensuring systems protect everyone equally. This victory today is a step toward that." The police department later faced widespread scrutiny, and Matthews was reassigned pending review. The case sparked citywide discussions on police reform and the importance of legal literacy among community members. Elijah Turner's meticulous approach reminded everyone that knowledge is power, and the law, when wielded with courage and precision, can shine a light through the darkest shadows.